What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list going into tomorrow. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, the market has been rather fearful because of the dreaded CPI data that is coming out on Wednesday morning. Forecast right now is 2.9. If it does come in better than anticipated, you are going to see a very nice positive push higher across the board. And what does that mean for heavily shorted stocks or squeeze stocks? That should potentially magnify and go up even more. So a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on, you could see some pretty nice price action. So again, this is why you need to add them to your watch list. Starting off with stock number 5, I do want to add a little bit of context. So I filtered a lot of the stocks. So based on recent price action, short score, utilization, DTC, and short interest, that is how you get these numbers, these stocks. So without further ado, E.L.F. I did not anticipate this to be on here. Same as last week, I didn't anticipate Walgreens to be on there, but nonetheless, E.L.F. sitting at $131.48 over the last 1 year, though it is down 19.8%. A lot of good information here. In case you don't know what they do, this is the company profile, so feel free to pause it and read through it. But based on this right here, short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 69.26. This short score is comprised of a couple different things: utilization, cost to borrow, and number of shares being shorted. So kind of adds a element. You can kind of look at that just for face value, but based on what I search and why I filter, I also add DTC and recent price action. But cost to borrow average is 0.69, 10.94% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 6.03 million shares. This is the change, so I am filming this on Tuesday evening, so CPI hasn't come out yet or anything, but this is the number that did change on Tuesday. So shorts did increase 37,000 shares, so not all that much, but they have been starting to get in. So low of in July around 3%, and so now it is at 10.94. A lot of these stocks, you might not see the most heavily shorted stocks on this list only because of the criteria. You don't technically need that in order for a squeeze to happen. But one thing as well I do want to bring up is through IBKR does indicate roughly around 100,000 shares is available to be shorted. So typically, whenever you see stocks that are on limited supply, so if it gets lower than 100,000, for instance, you might have some entities buying the stock just for purposes of lending out the shares. BlackRock is very well known for this, same with Vanguard. A lot of big players like to do that. So again, that could add some corresponding buying. But nonetheless, this, even though abnormally E.L.F., I wouldn't have pictured them as a squeeze stock, but it is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, ticker WTI, sitting at $1.83, up 2.23% on Tuesday. Over the last 1 year, it is down 33.7%, and over the last, let's say 1 month, it is up 15%. This is what they do. So under the oil and gas exploration and production section, 395 employees, founded in 1983, but 75.18 is that short score, so very high for that. 18.74% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 18.31 million shares overall being shorted. And based on this, shorts have really started to double down despite the stock price really moving up. So this is kind of getting for a very good circumstance for a nice push higher. And as well, you do see DTC. So typically the higher the number, if there is a squeeze occurring, this is ultimately the number of days that it would take for shorts to liquidate their 18.31 million. So something, again, another good element to add to your watch list because of that. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 550,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this is stock number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, ticker is LOVE, sitting at $26.70. It did go up 1.1% on Tuesday. Over the last 1 year, up 19.78%. And then over the last 1 month, it is up 2.53. Starting to build some pretty good momentum though. Based on this is the company profile. So home furnishings, about 1,500 employees, founded in 1995, but 79.14 is that short score utilization, 53.35%. 27.72% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 3.56 million shares overall are being shorted. So shorts have actually started to return a little bit. Most likely it's just because of the stock price appreciating, but still generally they have been lingering for a very long time, ever since July, keeping it around that 28% short interest range. DTC though is 9.18 days. So that is something to definitely take note of. Through IBKR though, does indicate roughly around 70,000 shares is available to be shorted. So you might see some buying in this stock. As I mentioned, big money likes to kind of lend out these types of stock. So again, this is stock number 3. Moving on to stock number 2, ticker LAES. So a very popular one, sitting at 366, did go up 9.25% on Tuesday. Over the last 1 year, it is up 40.77, and over the last 1 month, it has gone down a little bit since its peak, but still nonetheless, it is up 36.06%. This is what they do, so feel free to pause it and whatever. So semiconductor sector, 61 employees, founded in 2022, but we are here because of this. So 81.35 is that short score. Utilization is 84.29, and then through this, it does indicate 70.77 is that percentage of the free float being shorted. So very, very high stuff. 11.77 million shares overall are being shorted, and despite that though, you see shorts did return 4.27 million shares on Tuesday. So maybe last minute jitters associated to CPI and whatever else, because like I said, if CPI comes in hotter or better than anticipated, not hotter, then you could see just a broad market kind of push higher. But cost to borrow average is 68.72, and then through IBKR does indicate roughly around 200,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this is stock number 2. Stock number 1, another very popular retail one, and that is ticker BMEA, sitting at $4.15 over the last 1 year. It is down 71.2%. This is what they do. So biotech, 107 employees, founded in 2017. But we are here because of this. So short score is 84.5, utilization 85.16. 54.42% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 12.22 million shares overall are being shorted. And then cost to borrow average is 4.93. Just generally looking at what shorts have been doing, they have been really doubling down. So September short interest was roughly 29%. The peak was recently 57.07. So they have been getting in like tenfold, and that obviously has been really suppressing the stock price, keeping it kind of suppressed. So once again, if you have some broad market optimism, this stock could really fly. But through IBKR, it does indicate roughly around 50,000 shares is available to be shorted. So once again, you could see some corresponding buying that might happen. So nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on these top 5. Do you own any of them? Is there any other short squeeze stocks that you feel is definitely poised to move up in the next couple of trading days? So throw some tickers in the description below. And so let me know your thoughts. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. I do a lot of day trade posts, swing trade, and long-term positions. So kind of is good for absolutely everyone. So pop over there and take a look. Just in the month and a half that I've launched it, I've already had stocks double, triple, quadruple, so it's definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.